So hopefully that means that I'm live. Well, hello everyone. Wait. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another stream. I'm here, I'm back. It's been far too long, as it has been recently. Oh wow, I'm actually getting Discord notifications now. I've never had that before. But I'm here. It's been 10 days. Oh look, that's me right now. Had that before. Yep, true. And today I have no plan, once again. Because, you know, I'm done with this Ethan Hassan stuff. It's kind of boring. What else? What's like the next thing I need to talk about? Mapper's gone. That's in the past. They haven't released anything in like 2 years. So I got nothing to talk about, you know? Late? No, I was actually on time today. What do you think about Isaac from The Last of Us Season 2, Elite Ari? I think he was pretty good, I think. I don't think I had any major issues with him. Hello, Sulfur Bratai. Hello, Sulfur. Has it really been far too long? It has. It's been 10 days. Not good. But as usual, we'll go through Twitter. There's probably a lot of stuff to talk about. Well, probably not. There's probably some stuff to talk about, though. Because it has been a long time. True, we talked about this last time. I remember that. What was this? Mangadex. We did talk about that. There were some issues there. And that. Hey, Wondering Priority. This cool Madoka fan art. This cool Linear and Persona fan art. This really cool Eris fan art. I talked about Serial Experiments Lane, so if you're interested, go watch this discussion. Serial Experiments Lane is something I've wanted to watch for a long time. I've always heard about it. It's always interesting. It's obviously a big meme across the internet. Lane transcends her show. She is far more famous than the show itself, as like a character design and meme. So this was interesting. My general thoughts on Lane are that it was like, I mean, you can see it at the beginning here, and I guess I'm going to spoil this video a bit. It was overall positive, kind of boring for a lot of it, but there was a lot of good stuff in it. But yeah, it's kind of boring. That's the main takeaway. But good vibes. That's also the main thing. Oh yeah, Kyle says there's a new comment on here, right? Lane is one of those shows that doesn't spell everything out and expects the viewer to delve into it themselves. It doesn't really lend itself to casual or side viewing. Need to be engaged or you're going to get lost half of the episode goes by and you miss some context. I feel like this is most things, right? What's something that you can like passively watch and you feel like you get the whole experience? Don't you have to like pay attention for everything you watch? I don't know. That is something I heard though. I don't know if I heard it during our discussion or like when I was looking it up or something, but someone said that Lane is very dense. Like there's a lot of stuff packed into it. And I don't know if that's the case. It certainly didn't come across as dense to me. There's a lot of stuff said. Like there's a lot of narration and stuff, but it feels more like not frivolous. What's the word I'm looking for? It's more like decorative than like substantive or something. I don't know. Lane's got issues, okay, but I enjoyed it for the most part. Why did I talk about that? Oh yeah, I was going through Twitter. That's right. We had a discussion. Also, Kyle said that he liked this thumbnail, and just to expose Kyle here, this is an AI-generated thumbnail, okay? So Kyle really likes AI-generated art, is what I'm hearing, but true, that happened. True, The Last of Us. What have I consumed? Okay. I finished Wondering Priority. I feel like I talked about that last time. I also rewatched this for the discussion we'll talk about. I watched Serial Experiments Lane, and I finished The Last of Us Season 2. And I guess just to spoil again what I thought about this. This Last of Us Season 2, I am constantly doubting whether Season 1 was actually good or not, because Season 2 is not very good. I don't know if I would give it a positive rating. I guess we'll see when I like actually do my March or April and May digest or whatever, but there are a lot of issues with this. Some parts I liked, a lot of parts I didn't like. And I am really not looking forward to another season, but yeah, so that was The Last of Us Season 2. But I feel like a lot of people don't like this, so it's kind of interesting. Kyle put out a new video. Oh yeah, true, I actually completely forgot we need to watch this on stream today.
Isabella.
True. Is he going to say the name correctly? I actually don't know. I don't even know how to say it properly, but there's a name anyway. This really cool fan art of the Falling Devil and the Fire Devil. Pretty sick. Oh my goodness. Wondering Priority discussion. We'll talk about this a little bit. Oh yeah, then I put out 2 clips from Wondering Priority. God, Wondering Priority is so cool sometimes. These are like my 2 favorite like scenes, cuts, like cutaways. I don't know what you call them, but there's this one scene where the music is playing and this like villain is just like dancing in the background. It's so cool. Oh my goodness. Look at him. It's so cool. Because it's like so out of place for the rest of the show, because the entire rest of the show, it's like these villains that you're seeing, these like grotesque creatures, they're like unambiguously, they have no like, you can't side with them at all, and you can't empathize with them. They're like these really depraved kind of crazy, like even rapists and like abusers and like crazy people. Then you see this one like fan of someone who like killed themselves because they were a fan and then killed like other people or something. And now they're like dancing because they like the music that like this person is playing. And it's like, oh, this is so cute. It's like even though they're like an evil person or whatever, they're like, even in this fake afterlife, they're like dancing in the distance to the music they like. And it's like it's so cute. And I really like the scene. And directing wise is like really cool as well. Like it looks cool. One thing I didn't mention in the Wonder Egg discussion is that Wonder Egg Priority does something that like even things like Attack on Titan sometimes fail at, which is display scale and make it look good. Which is that this monster here, at least when I'm watching it, if you know the context of the scene, is really well animated to portray the scale of this creature. Like it's pretty big, and it's dancing in the distance, and the way like the atmosphere is blended in or whatever, it looks really big. And the show consistently does that with these monsters in a really good way. Whereas I've seen many other things fail at it before. So yeah, anyway, here's another cool scene. Eyes like running in the sky, and it's like the coolest piece of animation ever. And this is like when I got the most hype watching the show. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Look how cool this is. My goodness. And the cool like hair movement and stuff. Oh my goodness. It's a good looking show. Anyway. So there's that. That's all my stuff. Alright. Heath is here dabbing. Look at that great recommended video. I have no idea what you're talking about. It could be anything. Oh, this one. Okay, true. Yeah. Give it to Kyle. Give in to Kyle and do seasonal anime discussions. I think I originally suggested that. I mean, maybe. Not the show. Basically, for context, guys, Kyle suggested some show that I don't remember what it was, but it's something that's currently airing. And he wanted us to watch it. And I thought he meant that we would watch it like week to week, but I think now he just means like we just watch it all at once or something. But true, I think it's a good idea. I think we should be doing a week-to-week thing, like consistently. Now that The Last of Us is over, we should like replace it with something else. I completely agree with that. It's a good idea. I think the issue is more so getting Kyle to watch an anime like consistently that is airing at the moment. But yeah, still no Heavenly Delusion chapter. Freak Mandate X for being cowards. True, how dare they obey the law? My goodness. Did you see my stream, Heath? I watched episode 1 of that hotel show. Yeah, I had to watch a disgusting VOD because you streamed too early. True. You're very dense, Lidari, thank you. It was uploaded to my YouTube right away. Could have watched it there. I don't even know what you're talking about. Rewatches have to go... Oh, to the VOD you just uploaded. True. Rewatches have to go on the list again. That is true. I have to put my Wonder Egg watch on there. I forgot to do it. Do you have a GF, Ari? Absolutely not. I've heard a lot of opinions on the Last of Us Season 2 recently. Elite Ari. True, you probably have. Kyle's video is very successful.
Marced.
Marced, is that how you say it? 20,000 views. Not bad for a Kyle Entertainment video. 282 comments. That's kind of the crazy part of this. That's a lot of comments for that many views. Like how many comments did my poll video get? Because I think I got a similar amount of views on that, right? 24,000? 61 comments. Not as controversial. Kyle's one is obviously very controversial, but well, the series itself is. Why does I sound like a boy? I don't know, because you watched a clip and it probably frustrated you. You're like, my goodness, that's not the I have in my head. That's ridiculous. I can't accept this. That was my best Kyle impression. All right, so what do we have? We've got this video to watch. We don't have that. We're done. I have some random tier list. I don't even know if this is worth doing. There's not really that many characters in Wonder Egg. We've got
hello everyone, and
the discussion. I can talk about this a little bit, I guess. Wonder Egg Priority is interesting. There was a lot to say. Kyle liked the show like infinitely more than I thought he would, which is interesting. Like he liked it more than me, which is also kind of funny because that doesn't typically happen, I don't think. And yeah, it was interesting. I don't know. Good discussion. I liked it. Talked about a lot of stuff. 0 comments, 33 views. I feel like the Wonder Egg Priority fandom is not quite large enough to warrant a video like this. But also I feel like this is the type of video where maybe if you like... Because I feel like there probably is a very dedicated, hardcore, like, fan base for Wonder Egg Priority. And if this, like, penetrated that kind of fandom somehow through, like, Discord or Reddit or Twitter or wherever the hell it is, then maybe it could get, like, a bunch of views, but... Or a lot of comments, at least, of, like, people being interested. But Not yet. It's a shame. But if we're just gonna wrap up all the Wonder Egg priority stuff, I'm not even remember half these people. Rika, obviously S tier, best, one of the best characters, probably maybe the second best. Koiter, obviously S tier. Her reveal at the end is like kind of sick. Momo is like B. She's like fine. I like her. Frill is A. Frill is great. I is the best character in the whole show, so S. The daughter person was like kind of fine. There would be. I really like this bug creature. They were really cool. They floated around. It was really sick. Oh no, wait, sorry, not that one. I take it back. This is the one I was thinking of. With like the wings that are flying around and like the legs are dangling. That was really sick. The other ones are like fine. All the animals are really cool. I don't think I could name any of them besides one of them was called Manen or something. I think maybe the turtle. I don't know. And Panic. One of them was Panic, and that was like a cool name. Yeah. Could I name any of the others? It was Nehru. Nehru's pretty great. She can be in B. Okay. I liked Uraka. He was really sick. I kind of liked Akka. He was okay. Or is that the wife? I guess that's the wife. Wife can go in C because wife can go in D. We don't know anything about her. Akka can go in B. I's mom is S. Chami we hardly knew, but the stuff concerning her was really interesting. This colorful albino heterochromia, colorful pink hair, blue eyeliner girl is really cool design-wise, and she was kind of a very different character compared to all the others, so that was pretty cool. The random gymnastics or something, or ribbon twirling girl was cool. B. Mr. Sawaki's good in his ambiguity. This is the, I don't like her. She was the, she got tricked by a shaman or something to kill herself. The fangirls were kind of cool. I'll put them in B. This girl who was like, who got raped by a teacher or something, and she was upset because she didn't understand why she was chosen because she thought she wasn't pretty or something. That was really cool. The trans guy was cool. Who the hell is this? They have like pink hair. I don't remember. I feel like I should remember this person. I don't know. D. The ghost girl was C. Who is this? I have no idea. Oh my god, my mouse stopped working. And the mum was B, and then the first girl in the first episode, A. There we go. Easy. Okay, Wonder Egg priority tier list. Perfect. Okay. Week to week sucks, no way. That is true. Makes me hate life. My video isn't controversial at all. 95% likes. That's still pretty controversial. My goodness. Least generic show ever. True. Okay. Now with Wonder Egg priority out of the way, let's talk about The Last of Us. Got to speed up this video. Can't watch it on 1 times. Show Dina is not better than Game Dina. So, for context, I have watched The Last of Us Season 2. I have watched The Last of Us 2. I watched a playthrough. Someone played through it. Oh, look. It's the Dina face model girl, right? That's going to be a bad video. We'll watch that. I don't remember that much about Game Dina. I like remember some bits. There was like, I remember there was a scene that wasn't in the show, I think, that where she was like, it was snowing and she like met Ellie for the first time or something. I don't remember much about her. I liked Dina in the show pretty much. There was one bad acting scene, but beyond that, I think she was good. I liked her generally. Initially, she started off really promising. Had a special connection with Joel that I liked a lot. It was nice. But I don't know what Kyle is possibly going to say in this video that could be interesting. I don't know. I feel like I'm not the target audience for this whatsoever, but we'll watch it anyway. What ranking is the poor Cloverworks staff that died and suffered making it? Yeah, true. That is one thing to say that I don't know if I've talked about on stream about Wonder Egg priority. I think I did a little bit last time, but there is like, it is so funny. Having been active or like reading up on the Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 issues with the production and Mapper and all that, and seeing the people involved in that on Twitter particularly, and now like going back in time and seeing those exact same Twitter users involved in the exact same talking points, like 3 years earlier in the Wonder Egg priority, or 4 years earlier, or whatever, in the Wonder Egg priority discourse, and it's very funny. And I'll leave it at that for now, but yeah. More More on that later, I'm sure, but yeah. But yeah, let's watch this, okay? My goodness. True, and also, yes, true, the poor staff at Cloverworks. I'm so sorry, I feel so bad for them. All right.
Isabella Marced's rendition of Dina in The Last of Us Season 2 has turned...
Why does Kyle pronounce names wrong? Or am I just like, wait, what's her name? Isabella Marced. That's how he pronounced it, right? Is the E meant to be an Is that what we say in Marced? I don't understand. Is it pronounced that way? He says, like, instead of Asa, he says Isa. Like, he sees the name A-S-A, and he goes, Isa. Where's the I? Why does he say that? I don't understand. And I don't think he's trolling. I think he just thinks it's pronounced like that. And I don't know why. Like, he has an issue with the letter A, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, Kyle annoys me sometimes, and that's just one of them. But anyway. I do feel like Wonder Egg was like the start of the post-COVID production crisis talking points. Maybe. I mean, in fairness, I haven't seen COVID mentioned much for... It wasn't mentioned at all for JJK, I don't think. And I've seen it a few times mentioned for Wonder Egg, but even then, it's like a very minor thing. The more dominant reason I've seen for its supposed production issues is that it was a team that was inexperienced, that wasn't getting enough resources or time or something. Tracking back those claims, I don't know how... I want to spend more time before I give comments. Like, maybe they are very well founded, but I don't like Wikipedia, by the way. I have issues with Wikipedia, okay? We're going to figure it out eventually. Oh god, there's so many things to talk about. I read this, and I'm like, okay, so where is it? Production issues in... Am I crazy? Well, there was like a whole section for this. Production issues. I'm like, okay, so information from industry insiders and several broadcast events showcase some of the issues the series is facing in its production. In one instance, staff were unable to complete the 8th episode of the series on time, and so a recap episode was aired instead in order to provide more time for the team. So it's like, okay, that's interesting. That's like a direct claim where they're saying that, like, yeah, the 8th episode was... they were unable to finish it, therefore they had to insert a recap episode. The recap episode wasn't, like, part of the time at all. It's like, okay, so... Wonder what the source is for this. So I read this, and I'm like, okay, so this will, like, give me at least some interesting thing about, like, the production and why episode 8 was delayed and everything. And I read this, and this article is, like, a big article, which I like. I generally like Anime News Network, right? And it's, like, an interview with two people that, I think they're relatively young people. One of them, I think, was even, like, 17 or something. And they're basically talking about their experience working with the Wonder Egg Priority people, like people who are working on Wonder Egg Priority. They're working in association with them. I think like one of them might be working directly. The other one was working like independently. It was like a bit weird actually, and a bit dodgy. And anyway, that's beside the point. That's the article. It's an interview with these two people. Not once, as far as I understand, I could read through it and maybe I missed it. Not once did these people comment on anything to do with the production issues, or specifically comment. I mean, maybe they do like roughly touch it, but they definitely don't mention anything to do with this episode 8 being delayed. So when this article on Wikipedia is quoting this article, they're quoting this line at the top, which is to say that, like, yet behind the obvious quality of the final product, the production was struggling in a very public way. Notably, the staff failed to deliver an episode on time for the broadcast, resulting in an impromptu recap episode in episode 8. Like, this, which has nothing to do with the gist of the article, right? Which is the original reporting conducted by ANN. Like, this has nothing to do with this claim, right? It's like they found this article that, like, says this thing in it with no evidence. It's just claiming something that is believed to be true with no evidence. And they use it as, like, a source here. Now, I don't like this, obviously. However, this is just for people, like, who's interested. This is within Wikipedia's, like, sourcing rules. Like, Wikipedia is interesting because they don't, like... As far as I understand, you can't put, like, original, like, research stuff on Wikipedia. Like, if you wrote if you wrote a paper that supported a particular argument, you can't, like, you don't cite it as, like, you don't cite your paper to support an argument on Wikipedia. The only thing, as far as I understand, you're allowed to cite on Wikipedia is trusted sources that report on things. And there was, like, another rule I read, which is that, like, the proportionality of something within an article should be proportional to the claims that you make in your Wikipedia source. So, like, here we have, like, one sentence in a whole, like, production issue segment, and that's probably proportional to the amount that this shows up in here. The issue is that this is just, like, it's such, like, a baseless claim that is, like, made in an article, and it's being cited here as though it's, like, an evidence of production issues. I don't like it. But Wikipedia is interesting in this regard. And this particular article is quoted, like, a bunch of times throughout this, if you look for, like, 28 or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know if this follows the rules of Wikipedia, but it is the whole thing. I'll look into it eventually in more detail, and maybe there'll be a video about it, but...
So I've been watching...
I don't know. I had thoughts on that, so I don't know if anyone is interested in that, but Wikipedia is interesting. Anyway. I do feel like, oh yeah, true. Why are you watching this video? Your video? I don't know. Why not? People were making fun of me saying Dina in the video. Okay. It's written by Kim Morrissey, who is the Canapa effects. What does that mean? It's written. What is written by? What are we talking about? This? Kim Morrissey? I don't know who this is. You gotta give me some context here. What did I just miss? What? Oh, wait, the article? Wait, no way. Why did I just... Wikipedia, give me the Wonder Egg priority one. Also, I don't have an issue with this article, by the way. It was an interesting read, actually. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know who this person is, but if you're saying it's like Cannibal Effect's wife or something, that's kind of cool. Yeah, more on this later. There was an interest. Okay, you know, we'll just talk about this article a little bit. There's an interesting like moral or like entitlement question in this, I think, which was there's two people interviewed here, and as far as I understand, one of these people, they had a friend who was working directly, like was contracted or whatever, to work with the studio working on Wonder Egg Priority. So they were directly involved in the production, their friend. And then their friend, who was actually working with Wonder Egg Priority, needed help. So they contacted whichever one of these two, I don't know which one, we'll look at it, to get their help in like the workload that they had. And then this person, who was indirectly, not in the knowledge of, like the Wonder Egg studio didn't know this, that it was like the person working on Wonder Egg, their friend, was helping them out indirectly and unofficially. They wanted to get credited in Wonder Egg. And I was like, this is interesting. Why would you feel entitled to that? Like you're being out, like you don't have a contract with the studio. They didn't vet you. They don't have any idea of who you are. Why would you get a credit? And they were like, they weren't demanding it or anything, but I was like, that's like an interesting situation, I guess. I don't know why you would feel entitled to a credit there. Where is this? Just so I'm not like pulling this out of nowhere. Yeah, so this person here, with Wonder Egg Priority, I was helping the animator Annie on Twitter, I'm guessing, after he was contacted by episode 10's production assistant Hayato Sato. It was Annie's first job, so I was helping him with several things related to drawing the LO or layouts and also translating his interaction with Sato. It included contacting Fa to translate his story and notes. Interviewer's note, I recommend this, checking out the anime, whatever, yeah. At first, we didn't plan to make my presence known. I was simply helping a friend, but for various circumstances, we helped them with the key animation, even ones that weren't from Annie's scene, so we ended up deciding to ask for credit. It's like, this is weird to me. I mean, maybe in the context of the anime industry, maybe this is like the norm or something, but it feels weird to me that, like, I can weasel my way into, like, being credited for something, even if, like, the company didn't necessarily even want to work with me. It's strange. And I feel like it's like a liability for the company, right? Like even just legally speaking, but I don't know. It is what it is. It was interesting read. The ANN article, true. I got there in the end. Okay. I guess that's enough for Wonder Egg. I guess if you have anything else to say, guys, go ahead. Wait, that's not what I wanted. I want this one. Let's go back to Kyle's bad pronunciation of this name.
Isabella Marced's rendition of Dina in The Last of Us Season 2 has turned a lot of heads. Her performance was raved about in the previews, then episode 1 hit and the general public concurred. The people have hearts in their eyes, they've never loved a young lady more. Her first scene with Joel was endearing, her funny silent planning session with Ellie was cute and funny, her babying and taking care of Ellie is tender and sweet. And she's just so damn smiley and pretty. The road to successfully charming the audience was paved with these bricks. This success has led, however, to some comparative disparaging of Shannon Woodward's Dina from The Last of Us Part 2 that I humbly will not abide. Show Dina is better than game Dina, I've heard on the wind. It makes me grit my teeth. It makes Neil Lang.
I'll be honest. I don't like the crediting of the voice actor for the character of Dina. Because I mean, maybe he'll talk about this later, but the voice actor is just one part of the performance of Dina here, right? Like, there'd be countless people actually animating her. There's obviously the face model who's, like, responsible for the appearance. Like, these are all involved in the character of Dina. And to just associate, like, the voice, who's not even, like, necessarily, like... it feels weird to me. I don't know. I feel like when you have a physical actor, like actually acting, I feel like that's much more of a, like the actual person is responsible much more for the way they're portrayed. I don't know. I guess it's not like it's not a binary thing, but it does bother me a little bit.
Comparative disparaging of Shannon Woodward's Dina from The Last of Us Part 2 that I humbly will not abide. Show Dina is better than game Dina, I've heard on the wind. It makes me grit my teeth. It makes me a little angry. You need different tools for different jobs, idiots. Show Dina is getting a lot of love in comparison to Game Dina, primarily, I think, because she stands out more than Game Dina. She's bombastic, she's lively, she's wild. Her charm is screamed rather than whispered. This change in personality was necessary because of the rendition of Ellie Show Dina stands across from. Bella Ramsey's rendition of Ellie is very different to Ashley Johnson's Ellie. This has become even more pronounced as we've gotten further into the Season 2/Part 2 material. Show Ellie is overly loud and bombastic. She yells and screams and is joking all the time. She's very blunt, she's more overt. She's generally sillier more consistently. She more so embodies the wilder moments of younger Ellie from the first game, turned up to 11, all the time, even after the time skip. This means the portrayal of Show Dina had to rise in bombast to match energy with Show Ellie, which has led to a lot of these probably necessary personality and demeanor changes. She's got to be a little extra, and this has resulted in a character and in a performance that more...
Oh, I'll be honest, I don't know if did I just misunderstand that? What did he say? Because... Oh, okay, maybe I completely... Okay. He's saying that because Show Ellie is, like, goofier or more childlike, Dina is also more goofy and childlike? Because I definitely don't feel like... I mean, I don't remember the game that much in fairness, but I don't feel like Ellie is more of a, like, bombastic presence in The Last of Us show. Like, when I think of Ellie, to me, she doesn't feel as much of a main character as she does in the actual game. So to say that, like, oh, she's, like, more focused on or something, or more like she's a bigger presence here, so we also need to make Dina a bigger presence, I don't quite understand that. But I guess I see the point about if she's a little goofier, so we have to make her, like, match her energy or something, I guess. I don't know.
These probably necessary personality and demeanor changes. She's got to be a little extra. And this has resulted in a character and in a performance that more jumps out of the screen than Game Dina. Game Ellie is a very closed-off, solemn, somber person. Very shy and awkward and locked inside herself outwardly. There always seems like there's more going on than we and the people around her realize. There's insecurity there. She appears to always be hiding something. She's not overt, and her silliness is often a deflection. She is still playful and quick and fierce like she was in her happier moments in the first game, when she's allowed. But there's a sadness, a weight, and a simmering anger and regret to her, mixed with a dose of self-hatred. This is all emphasized when what happens, and the floodgates open and she spirals into an erratic, vengeful lust. All these compounding emotions imploding. Her performance reflects all of this. In her delivery, in her body language, it's nuanced and very grounded. Game Dina stands across from this very different Ellie and is therefore subdued to this quainter tone, and her more pensive Ellie.
So I guess this probably isn't a video for me, because I don't remember the game enough, and this is, like, not my reading of Ellie at all. Like, that doesn't, like, I'm not hearing this, like, oh yeah, that was, like, the Ellie I remember. So I don't know, but it's just probably not for me. I don't remember the game enough. But...
She's equally nuanced and grounded. She knows what she wants and she goes after it, but in a way that she knows Ellie will respond to. She's thoughtful. She's also bubbly and cute and funny in quieter ways than her show counterpart. She's sweet and tender in more passive ways. Her strengths are not really in practicality like with Show Dina, but more in being emotionally supportive and therefore endearing to the audience. But not in quite as dramatic a fashion or as immediately as Show Dina. The relationship between Game Dina and Ellie is also a more mature one compared to the goofier show pairing. I think this is most on display in thinking of a hypothetical world where the combinations are cross-paired. Game Dina and Show Ellie would not go together. The maturity gap is almost so profound it might be problematic. Show Ellie and Dina feel like and give off the vibes of a fun teenage pairing off on an adventure, whereas Game Dina and Ellie feel like 20-somethings together on a deadly mission, even if everyone mentioned here is supposed to be 19. This is born out of the differences in their characterizations. Even though a lot of the language...
So this is... I agree with that, I guess. And it was an interesting point about you can't, like, swap the pairs, because I do agree that probably wouldn't work. Which I guess supports the argument at the beginning much more strongly than the other point, I think. However, I do think, and maybe he'll mention this, I do think that, like, the fact that Ellie looks, like, identical to how she did in Season 1, and in Season 1 we're meant to assume she's a kid, and now we're meant to assume she's, like, older, and she, like, still looks like a kid. I feel like that's a big part of, like, why we don't buy that, like, she's older, I guess, or why I didn't buy it, at least. I don't know. So, yeah. Well, she's not just the voice actor, she's the motion capture too. Oh, okay. That's kind of interesting though. I just assumed it was all like you have actual animators doing it, but if it's I guess I don't know anything about game production. That makes sense. Okay. True. Who is the Ellie you remember? She's kind of she's the type of person who would, like, make a joke and then laugh about it a little bit, and then like be done with it. I don't know. How could I possibly describe it? It's just different to what you described. I have no idea. Just read the comments. That's a good part. We're getting there. Okay, let's keep going. Wait.
Which I'm using is quite loaded positive for the game portrayal and negative for the show portrayal here. That's not really my point. I'm just saying the Dinas are characterized and performed and written very different to match their opposite numbers. And they both fit in their roles. Different tools for different jobs. And I think the type of portrayal show Dina is a magnet for attention and getting noticed and therefore praised over her more subtle, more grounded, and more nuanced doppelganger. Either that or it's recency bias or something. But to compare them seriously to me is like comparing apples to oranges. It fails to understand the different roles each was designed to flourish in. They're not better than each other, they're just different. Apples and oranges. The general misunderstanding of this and want to praise show Dina and put down game Dina has annoyed me a little, but good. Now we're on the same page. It won't happen again. This could and probably should be where the video ends. But truthfully, if I look deep inside myself, that conclusion is a lie. My anger isn't born out of a misunderstanding of roles in two different narratives. My anger is born out of being absolutely flabbergasted that anyone could prefer apples to oranges. We all agree that Game Dina is way better, right? We aren't falling for the flashiness and the bombast, are we? Because that would be really, really stupid. In essence, some would say, less is more. I think to me, the difference in quality between the two Dinas is representative of the difference in quality
I do wonder how well this twist would work with people. It probably would work nice. God, we live in a world where it's like, I don't even know who Kyle is responding to here. Or maybe honestly, he's probably not responding to anyone. He's probably just like fighting. He probably thought this was an interesting idea for a video, I guess, which is how all videos are born, I guess. But I think this is like The Last of Us Part 2 and everything these days. Like, I think I talk about it for everything that I watch, like The Acolyte, like everything. It's like, it is impossible to assess what people think about it. Because on TikTok, I've been seeing like, TikTok is where I see probably almost all of the discourse surrounding The Last of Us Part 2 is on TikTok comments. And the comments will have like 30,000 likes on them. Like, it's not like these are insignificant comments or anything on videos. And I'll see videos about The Last of Us 2 with like hundreds of thousands of likes and everything. And I do think that in the last maybe like 5 episodes, maybe 4 episodes or something, like toward it, it was all like negative stuff about Dina. The first episode specifically, there was like a lot of positive stuff I would see, but then toward the end, it was like all negative. So I don't quite know who Kyle is like fighting here. But yeah, maybe in other spaces it was a bit different, but yeah.
Is representative of the difference in quality between the two versions of this story they come from. It is becoming increasingly...
Oh, and just to say also, just for context, I feel like I've universally seen negative comments on Ellie. I think I've seen a single positive thing where they were like, oh, we really like Ellie. We're glad we have Ellie. Ellie's great. Never. I don't think I saw a single positive. Maybe I saw a single one, but very rare to see any positive comments on Ellie throughout season 2 on TikTok.
It is becoming increasingly evident to me that the show is falling short of the game in many regards. And its lesser quality to me has infected show Dina and made her inferior to me than game Dina.
Wait, what? Say that again?
Between the two versions of this story they come from. It is becoming increasingly evident to me that the show is falling short of the game in many regards. And its lesser quality to me has infected show Dina and made her inferior to me than game Dina. Everything that was left unsaid and implied in both Last of Us games has been mind-numbingly screamed in the show. Every subtle performance detail is now overwrought and overstated in the show, every plot detail is more driven home and reiterated upon, and everything needs to be fleshed out in the show. And it takes away from the very small, tightly focused story from the game that doesn't fill in every little detail. It's almost a testament to how far video game storytelling has come in a mainstream way, that the unsubtle, dumbed-down, less focused story is the HBO television adaptation rather than the original video game, especially considering the standing in pop culture of the two mediums historically. All my issues sort of coalesce into the lesser adaptation of the Take On Me scene from Seattle Day One that I think is less impactful in all regards in the show. A lot of my complaints about the show, and in turn about this scene, are born out of 2 key changes: removing additional contextual layers from the characters in the scenes to streamline and dumb down the story, and a lack of subtlety and ambiguity leading to overstated emotionality. In the game, when Ellie finds the guitar in the music store, her glee in finding it is more understated. Then she sits down and she plays the first few notes and sings the first line of Future Days. The song Jel sings to her at the very beginning of the game. If I ever were to lose you meant something then, and it means something different now, and you sit with that. Before Dina interrupts, asking,
"What was that?"
Ellie doesn't explain the song or its meaning or its importance to Dina, and is very much hiding things from her, especially about Joel. She then transitions into reminiscing about an old memory with Dina around a bonfire, before she plays Take On Me, seemingly calling back to that memory, wooing Dina in the process. This extra detail at the beginning adds a secretive, almost sinister tinge to this scene, and Ellie and Dina's doomed relationship in the game. This layer is completely removed in the show, where Dina just starts playing Take On Me as soon as she finds the guitar, where it's not calling back an old memory. It's a bit of emotional blackmail here from Ellie, kinda like what Joel did in the scene earlier in the game, singing Future Days for her. There is a truly emotional, genuine moment of care and affection following both moments, but there's some layering there that adds to the nuance in the conflict and the love of both relationships in both scenes. The show version of both scenes, in fact, simplify both scenes into purely being sweet moments between the duos, and it takes away from the grayness of both relationships and the characters involved. In the game, the emotionality of the scene is all in Dina watching Ellie sing. Ellie is hiding behind her guitar, slightly embarrassed as she sings, looking around and away from Dina. Dina at first sits down, smirking self-awarely to herself at the corniness of the situation before she falls into the emotion of the moment. Her eyes linger on Ellie, on her face, following her hands on the strings, looking softly off to the side, all in quiet contemplation about why she's halfway across the country, with this girl on an unenviable revenge mission into the unknown, with her eventually coming to the conclusion that she loves this girl. The softness that is shared in this moment from Ellie, the talent and the expression it takes, juxtaposed with the general shyness and fierceness and ruthlessness that Dina knows Ellie is capable of, amalgamate into this interesting, nuanced, contradictory girl that she can't take her eyes off of, that she can't not stand beside. There's a realization that she wants to be here with Ellie in this moment, a sureness, a love, and it's transmitted by facial expression and body language in these thoughtful, reflective looks. It's all unsaid, but it's written all over her face. The emotionality is behind the eyes. There's subtlety, there's ambiguity. You have to read into the situation. The show tries to replicate the emotionality of the game by again focusing the scene on watching Dina watch Ellie, but it doesn't commit to it quite as hard, and it seems more obsessed with the shots looking real nice, rather than the complex emotional resonance of the moment for Dina, and the subtle way of portraying it. The emotionality of this scene is also dumbed down and screened. Instead of the thoughtful, contemplative looks, Dina slowly walks over to Ellie, looking on in pure adulation. Rather than a lot of the emotionality coming from behind the eyes in the game scene, Dina sits down directly across from Ellie, staring at her, and she slowly builds tears in her eyes until she cries. What the fuck is with crying in this goddamn...
So Kyle makes it good. He conveys that this original... Okay, he convinced me that the game scene is better. Like, by far. And it does look really nice. Like, I would want to go back and watch it or whatever. And I also didn't really necessarily like the scene in the show. I did like parts of it. But as a whole, she was crying a lot from that one scene. However, I don't think he made much of a convincing, like... I feel like okay. I feel like describing the quality of the scene in the game, I think that was enough. Because now when it goes, and I don't know why I'm criticizing this at this point, but like when you go on now to show like the actual scene from the show, it's like, I don't even know if I agree with you. Maybe just the examples you're showing aren't as good, or like they don't convey the point. Maybe the only way to do it is like completely look at both scenes or something. Because when I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, like I see it, the same like kind of subtle expression. Like this is a subtle expression. Like what's she thinking in like behind her eyes? Like the expression is behind her eyes here, and I'm like, I don't know if I necessarily buy the things you're showing here. But I do agree with your overall point, because I think you did a good job of conveying why the original scene is so much better. And then in my mind, when I think back to the show scene, I'm like, yeah, it didn't have any of that. But now that you're showing it, I'm like, I guess maybe it did have some of that. So I don't know. Just an interesting thought I had, I guess. But yeah. Anyway, let's continue on. True, they cry in the game.
Across from Ellie, staring at her,
in the show, of course.
And she slowly builds tears in her eyes until she cries.
And I don't know if they're trying to show off how pretty the scene is, by the way. I don't know, but maybe. Maybe they focus a lot on it. I'm not sure.
The fuck is with crying in this goddamn show? I hate it. Dina has to wipe the tears away in her closing compliments to Ellie's performance. It's overwrought, it's overbearing, it's one note, and I don't like it. It's also more plain and obvious. And get ready for this one, Mr. Gems. Straightforwardly generic.
Whoa!
It's all...
Mr. Gems reference. Oh my goodness. Crazy.
The tears away in her closing compliments to Ellie's performance. It's overwrought, it's overbearing, it's one note, and I don't like it. It's also more plain and obvious. And get ready for this one, Mr. Gems. Straightforwardly generic. It's all screamed at you. Dina loves Ellie, guys, when there's so much more than that in the game. To make things worse, rather than them both getting up and moving on like in the game, the scene is capped off in the show by needless Joel glazing. For the shittier Joel, mind you. Because show Dina apparently loved Joel too. So we have to shoehorn Joel into this scene, reminding us that we've collectivized and simplified both girls' motivations into one, rather than having them be complex and dynamic characters in their own rights, who want different things, like in the game. Joel haunts The Last of Us Part 2, but he isn't mentioned very often. His absence is more felt than it is said, especially in the Seattle section. We don't have to be reminded of him verbally constantly, encroaching him in scenes that are supposed to be about Ellie and Dina. It's so fucking soy and grating. You guys miss Joel? I'm really missing Joel right now, guys. The impact and the emotionality and the depth of the show scene falls completely at the feet of the nuance and the groundedness and the understated profundity of the game scene. It's emblematic of why the show is lesser than the game, why show Ellie is lesser than game Ellie, and why show Dina is lesser than game Dina. The orange is way better than the apple, guys. Let's not kid ourselves here, or it'll make me a little angry. We've got to thank our members and patrons.
You remembered, my
today,
goodness.
because I kind of forgot to last time.
Yeah,
That'd
true.
be Jockey Bacon, Cruel Beauty, Mr. Gems, and Shitty Elite Orange.
You know what? I completely forgot I was a YouTube member. Oh my goodness. Jesus. You know why? Because I don't get anything from it. There's no rewards. My goodness. I guess there's probably also no rewards for my membership either at the moment. Anyway, that was engaging, I guess. I generally agree with it. I think it conveyed a decent case for the game being better, and I like it. Good. Generally good. What do the people say? I think I've read a few of these comments already. including this one. The thumbnail less than sign is how I wanted it. I wanted the thumbnail image, and the title to have opposite clickbaitive qualities. I'm just a genius like that, just because I've been getting a few comments about it. Also, I wonder why Kyle made this comment. Like, why would you not just ignore the people commenting on it? I don't understand. Also, I made this other video, and then True is showing his video. And then some stuff, voluntarily admitting they apply. Okay, we get the point. In the game, Dina is more of a moral compass for Ellie in the game. Am I crazy? In the game, Dina is more of a moral compass for Ellie in the game. And there is a lot more interesting conflicting dynamic between them, which foreshadows their breakup. Maybe. Maybe that's true. I've seen comments saying Show Dina and Show Abby are better than their game counterparts because they're hotter, which makes me lose sanity. I'll be honest, I haven't seen any of that. I've seen people say that Abby is better than Ellie because she's hotter. I've seen that on TikTok before. I've never seen like these two characters being better. No shade to Isabella Merced. I don't know how to say this, by the way, but it's not Marced. I mean, maybe it is. I don't know. But Dina shouldn't feel like an enabler for Ellie's bullshit. It should be the complete opposite. Whatever. I don't know. I don't want to read these comments. My goodness. Okay. I stumbled into the twist aspect of the video because I finished writing the video and went, I didn't even talk about what I wanted to, and then wrote the second part. That's very funny. I do like it. It's pretty good. But the people who annoyed me initially were on the podcasts I watched. True. Well, I haven't seen any podcasts about The Last of Us, so here we are. Hello, Mr. Gems is here. I'm featured in the video. Crazy. React harder. I'm going to say your name at the end, Mr. Gems. Oh, you spoiled it before he came up. That's because I'm a big-time patron. Wait, were you? Is that like you?
Time.
Cruel Beauty, I assume? No, Mr. Gems. Oh, I didn't even realize you were a patron. I don't know why. Or member or whatever. Whoa, true. I do agree that the clips don't really work because it's like about the flow of the scenes, yeah. But I can't just play the scenes straight. I mean, I did it in my Garden of Words thing, so I mean, it is possible. Make a cool edit and you'll get referenced in a video. True, I'll work on it. Who's Cruel Beauty? Isn't it a song or something? Oh no, it's a person. I thought it was a song in The Last of Us. I don't know, just a member of Kyle's, I guess. You're still the only YouTube member, Elidari. Well, that's great. You gotta make a video. Just like now that this is successful, you gotta like change this comment and be like, become a member for my preview to my Isaac video or something. And upload like a test thing of like a 5-minute thing of like the Isaac video, and people will be like, oh my god, it's so exciting. They'll subscribe. It'll be so great. Anyway, do people love this shitty video, Elidari? I don't know if they love it. I mean, you got a lot of views on it. These are like people venting, I think, about the show. I don't even know if they necessarily watched your video. I get the same thing on like my popular videos too. Like I wonder what percentages of people actually watch the video. I will always prefer Game Dina. She's so much more grounded and more human. Show Dina is like a sparkly princess. True. Game Ellie Dina don't fail the Bechdel test. Enough said. True. All right, here we go. Thank you for this video. Finally, someone who doesn't just praise Show Dina blindly, but actually acknowledges how great Game Dina was. It's probably also the fact that I preferred the way more mature tone of the characters in the game, which made both Ellie and Dina feel more real and grounded. But what stood out for me in the game is that they complemented each other beautifully. Dina was emotionally supportive, but she was also clever and capable. For example, she made the radio work, tracked Abby's group, and was clearly useful in a practical sense too. It's just not all the time mentioned and all over your face. What I love most about the game was that Dina never needed to steal the spotlight to matter. She wasn't carrying the entire mission or constantly she wasn't carrying the entire mission or constantly reminding us how lost Ellie would be without her. This made Ellie's initial plan to go on to the mission alone actually believable, unlike the show where it felt ridiculous because Show Ellie's survival skills literally were useless. Game Dina was brave, smart, emotionally strong, but not hardened or badass in a stereotypical way, and she didn't have to be traumatized to be interesting. True. These days it seemed like no character is allowed to just exist without some very tragic backstory. I obviously completely disagree with that. So when Show Dina suddenly launched into one, I honestly rolled my eyes. Well, that's all I wanted to say. I love Game, Dina, and Ellie more. Well, look at that. Nice comment. Where's Mia's comment? Didn't Mia get like a bunch of 82 likes? I did find myself liking Show Dina more at first, but I think you're right that it's because she is given more generally appealing energy and spunk to match better to Show Ellie. This dynamic was good before Seattle starts, but yeah, I did not like how the Show Ellie Wait, how neither Ellie or Dina, wouldn't this be nor Dina, not or Dina? My goodness, typer here. Dina seemed good. Another one? Wait, am I crazy? What's going on here? But yeah, I did not like how neither Ellie or Dina seemed to grow past the unserious playfulness. I did not consider it until now that Dina's show writing is an extension of Ellie's, just as dumbed down. Well, there we go. Kyle's convincing people. Isn't that crazy? Okay. They were pissing me off. True. Kyle, you're welcome for rage baiting and creating so much engagement. True. Wasn't Heath the first comment on this or something? Let's go all the way back. Let's scroll back 300 comments and see Heath who started it all. It's like when Toji shows up in that one thing and is like, oh, the one who threw it away and the one who walked away entirely or something. Just say you hate real women. 2 upvotes. Kind of funny. 27 in the reply. Just say you have never met a woman. Anyway. Crazy. What did they just say? Dina is not a Dina in the show is not a woman. She's a little girl. Okay. All right. The Last of Us Part 2. Isn't that something? Cruel Beauty has been a patron for a long time. Cruel Beauty is Kyle's secret lover, or perhaps his mother. Now that would be funny if it was his mum who secretly knew all about his YouTube channel. Because she overheard him one time say that her channel, his channel was Kyle Entertainment when he's in the car. That'd be really funny. All right. How The Last of Us butchered the porch scene. Porch scene. The Last of Us Season 2 is so bad, even the actors hate it. Why did I click on this? This is like a bad title. Did I click the wrong video? Oh, wait, no, it's because the girl's in it.
Watching Last of Us Season 2, and I've had more fun getting my teeth drilled, stepping on Legos, and eating at Golden Corral than watching the show. And I'm not the only one who thinks the season has been an unmitigated disaster. Even Dina's face model agrees.
Help? No. Why? Because it's stupid? That's not the word I would use. Really? What word then? Non-school oriented. Fuck you, I'm in school. Let me help.
Ellie's super smart. What? Characterization of Ellie being dumb is weird. Alright, weird choice of timing there. I would say that's... What?
You don't know where that finger's been.
And I'm saying this after episode 6. That has probably been the best episode of season 2. Although that's a dubious distinction. To me, it's just the best of the worst. And it highlights my problems with the show.
Interesting. Well, that was certainly something. Thank you for your service, Kinosa. True. Okay. Now what on earth do we do, guys?
Hi guys. Excuse my appearance today. I'm really sad.
Alright, we're good. Okay, we don't need this right now. Let's read Chainsaw Man. Don't tell me they're just showing the chapter the whole time, right? Oh, Lord. People be playing with fire. Alright. What's on my list of things to actually talk about? Where'd it go? I had a document open. Oh yeah, the Blind Wave subreddit. Is anything happen on the Blind Wave subreddit? Did anything happen with Blind Wave recently? I feel like something happened. Blind Wave. Oh my god, she's showing up in the recommended now. And was that the, no, I thought that was the Yu girl for a second. Same aesthetic. Oh, it's gone.
It's come to my recent attention that I'm not very smart. Like, literally 2 seconds ago, I meant to press record, but I didn't realize that I was on, like, the camera. So I ended up taking a picture, but I didn't realize I took a picture, and I thought I was recording. And, like, that was 2 seconds ago, but, like, 5 minutes ago, I was, like, putting on my nails, and I couldn't get the glue open. So I opened up the nail glue with my mouth, with my teeth, and it went all over my mouth, and now my mouth feels tingly.
I feel like this is a Bochi the Rock reference that I don't know. I don't understand. What is... Wait. It is what it is. Okay. They're finishing Ava soon? That is true. Will they watch End of Evangelion? Who knows? So is she like an actual like reaction channel? What is this? I know, I guess it's just like a generic, like, or general channel, I guess. Talking about a bunch of stuff. Interesting.
It was just Dina being Dina. Shouldn't mean anything by it.
Just give me a minute.
Oh my god, this is the scene I was talking about in the snow. I remember this scene.
We get your girlfriend to the stables, please.
With Jesse?
Stinky boy.
No.
Stinky boy, true. Alright, what else is happening in the Blind Wave world? This would be the perfect time for another Tales of the TARDIS reaction, true. Alright, looks like there's nothing too interesting. I got a question about the future poll winners. Will they come to YouTube? When will they come to YouTube? Nope. Alright, any tier lists we can do? Hear me out. Oh my god, it's Ellie. That's crazy. Okay. We gotta get Elite Ari watching it too. Evangelion? True. I'll get there eventually. Alright. How long have I been streaming? Can I end it yet? No, we gotta wait another like 20 minutes. Alright, Blind Wave subreddit. What else? Nothing. That's it. I don't have a single other thing to talk about. I guess it's finally time that we go back to our tradition of these videos here. What have I added to it? Alright. We have some trailers, I think. Netflix Tudum or Tadum or something. I feel like from this title, I feel like it's like a meta thing about the Tadum noise they make at the beginning of Netflix or something. I'm assuming. I don't know. I'm curious. I don't know what this is, but I saw it. Weapons. I don't know what that is. And then One Direct Priority. The downfall of One Direct Priority. Dub. The reason I put this here, even though it has very few views, is because it said dub. I was like, oh my goodness, is it like the YouTube video is dubbed into like English or something? Or are they complaining about the dub specifically or something? I don't know. And what the heck happened with One Direct Priority? I don't know. Anyway, let's see. What is this? Oh, it is a thing on the Tadum. Oh, wait. Is this this come out on April 1st? No, okay. I thought it was like an April Fool's thing. The hell is this?
I think I'm going to love it here.
Like a real world event or something? Why am I hearing this? I'm so confused. What is it?
More. That's exactly what I wanted.
Obviously.
That's today. Wait, what?
Let's go.
Am I crazy? What is it? A live stream? What are they live streaming all those shows? What does that even mean? Some event like in person? And then I'm also kind of surprised how prevalent One Piece was in this. Was that like super popular? Like up there with like Wednesday and like Stranger Things and Squid Game? It can't be that popular, right? But it was in this like a bunch. What is it? I'm so curious. I guess, oh, it's like a real like thing in person? Okay, I've never heard of it. Alright, another trailer. Did you hear Autosave's channel got hacked and has been private last week or so? No. That is kind of funny. Ari watches Ava when you watch Gurren Lagann, the Gabriel. No, that's, I don't really, Kyle doesn't have to watch that show. But Gurren Lagann is boring and lame. That is true. He probably wouldn't like it. Autosave is hacked? I guess they're back now? Or no, they're gone. Where do we even find out? Twitter? Autosave? I don't even know what their Twitters are. I think I follow, one of them at least on Twitter. Maybe both of them. Ay. Let's see. Where does it start? Oh no, what is this? Oh, it's a... Okay, I thought it was going to be an anti-Ethan Klein Twitter thing. I'm worried of the potential that this account will be compromised while we wait for YouTube response. If it is, I'll be posting here. We are currently being hacked on YouTube and need help. We are a channel with 90,000 subscribers. Please help. I didn't know they had 90,000 subs. It's kind of crazy. We've tried your link suggestions and are awaiting help. I mean, just wait then, right? Like if it, I don't know. I guess it makes sense to reach out. Okay. I mean, it seems fine. It said they're working on it. I feel like in every case I've ever seen, it just like comes back eventually, right? Unless there's some weird like setup thing going on where they aren't actually the account owners for whatever reason, or they can't prove they're the account owners or something. I guess that's possible. But I feel it would probably just come back, right? That sucks. Anyway. So did Ethan Klein lose? I don't think he's lost in many ways, but maybe. I don't know. All right, next trailer. Wait, also Kyle sent like a bunch of stuff. Or someone did. Was it not Kyle? Oh, Lord. Oh, no, I made my Discord window too big. Wait. Okay. Today is the 31st. I have a TikTok notification. What is that? God, they announced these live streams or something. I hate it every time I see it. Objective. Oh, no. Okay.
All critics.
Attack on Titan is...
Man, remember when we used to talk about Attack on Titan a lot? Why does this have a timestamp? What is this? Why did you send so many videos?
Hey, this video.
Okay. You skipped my other comment. What was your comment? I didn't even see it. If you send another comment, I don't see it. The Mother's Basement video. Oh yeah, I watched that off stream, the Wonder Egg thing. Because I'd already seen like most of it. There is no other comment. Get filtered, Kyle. True. Have you seen the new Mushoku Tensei redundancy illustrations yet? Yeah, so again, guys, no spoilers about Mushoku Tensei Light Novel stuff. For context, I have seen them. It's great. It's great. It's like the best thing in the world when you get, especially redundancy illustrations for Mushoku Tensei, because it's like stuff that obviously we might never see. So it is really cool to get visuals of it. But yes, I have seen them. Very exciting. My goodness. I'm so curious how they're gonna do one story in that, but we'll see. It's very interesting. No comments, guys. Right? No spoilers. So what were these? Objective YouTube critics are lying to themselves. That's true. 4 pacing problems in Attack on Titan. This sounds like a terrible video, but you never know. You can hate The Last of Us without being a dick. Sounds like an interesting video. The Last of Us HBO is a Disney remake. I've seen this everywhere. So this is probably like the... That's only got 200,000 views. I've seen this on my homepage. Because immediately, you don't even have to watch the video. You know exactly what it's trying to say, right? Actually, I changed my mind. It's a small channel. It might not actually be saying what I thought it would say. I figured it would be saying that, like, it's like cheap. It like looks bad. It's like empty. The characters are like, everyone is like woke, and like the writing is bad, and the writers behind it have said cringe things about its production, and it's probably, that's what I'm guessing. But if it's a small channel, it could be somewhat interesting. Let's watch like 5 minutes of this. Wait, is it an AI video? Okay, no.
Hey, this video is probably going to have some copyright issues, so if
Oh!
you're interested in supporting me, you can subscribe to the channel or join.
Context on AI. I watched this, is it Game Theorists or something? I watched this video today. This is the Five Nights at Freddy, like,
How can you
channel, right? Or something? Because the Matt Pat guy retired or something? Is it the same? Am I crazy, or is it just like another channel? Because he referenced the Matt guy, and I was like, I'm pretty sure it's like the same thing, and like he quit or something, and he got replaced? I don't know. They talked about AI. Elite Ari said, there's nothing to do, and I got out of my way to find him great content. He says, why would you do that? True. They have 4 channels in the same brand. Okay, that makes sense. I almost sent that film theory video of them out. Yeah. This was fine. I've never watched this channel before. Like, unironically, like, I've never watched it. I don't think I've even watched it on stream before. but it was very engaging. Like they make good videos, or at least this guy's like a good speaker or something. I think their general point was just that like AI is evil because the corporations that are making it, they're using content from artists without their permission to train the models. We try not to use AI as much as possible, but AI is getting so good and it's like impossible to tell the difference between AI and human stuff, and eventually it'll become like completely impossible that things are going to slip through the cracks. But for now, we're going to try our best like not to use AI. That was like the whole video, I guess, but yeah. It's somewhat interesting. Obviously, I completely disagree, but it's like, it was interesting. Yep. I almost sent that film through a video. Lamau, say the line. What line? Oh, yes. That's just a theory. And an AI theory. Thanks for watching. True. Okay.
Join as a paid member. There's exclusive content and all that, so feel free to join if you feel so inclined. Also, spoilers for The Last of Us HBO and both Last of Us games. Here's the video. The live-action Disney remakes are not films, they are products.
Also, I don't think I've ever seen a Disney remake, so I can't comment.
That is not to discredit any of the hard work that the countless artists and creators and visionaries have put into them.
All right. True. It's a product because a company made it. All right, we're done with this. All right. You can hate The Last of Us without being a dick. I'm probably just going to completely agree with all this, but we'll see.
There's an infection spreading through The Last of Us.
Wait.
There's an infection spreading through The Last of Us fan community.
They're coming!
The chopped of us. That's what I see everywhere.
Infected! 5 minutes out! Get off the street!
They're all infected. And I'm not talking about cordyceps. I'm talking about dicks. Not literal infected dicks, but figuratively infected ones.
Why have I seen this? Did Kyle watch this on stream? Did I watch this off stream? I've definitely seen this. Hey, I was enjoying that video. Well, too bad, okay? Have you seen... Why do I know this video?
Not my best metaphor, but they're assholes. You get the point.
You gotta ease up on talking about this, man.
Right. So let's address the elephant in the room at the outset. The second season of The Last of Us is not good. It has a few moments of greatness to rival the exceptional
I watched like the first 30 seconds, I think. Okay,
first season, but on the whole, it's a mess. Without the anchor of Joel and Ellie's iconic relationship.
Okay. I don't care about that either. 4 pacing problems in Attack on Titan. Again, this is of the bunch, this seems like it's going to be the least interesting, so let's watch.
Frustrating. And not just because Attack on Titan is frustrating. And not just because of the ending. Everybody rips on the ending, but for me, the headache started long before the final episodes. I initially loved the show, then lost interest, then had to force myself to finish season 2, then I loved the show again, then I lost interest again.
Bro lost interest before season 2 ended. That's kind of crazy. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Show again, then I lost interest again, and my subscribers have been asking me to do a video on AOT for a while now, and rather than praising the characters, world building, or plot twists like everybody else on the internet, I thought I'd talk about the biggest issue I had with the show, which is its pacing. So today we're going to look at 4 specific pacing issues and how they hurt my enjoyment of Attack on Titan. Before we go any further, here's your spoiler warning. The ones in red contain the heaviest spoilers.
The Penguin. Interesting.
Via spoilers. Anyway, I was late to the party with Attack on Titan. People told me to watch it for years, but I was never an anime guy, so I held off until last summer. Then, right from the get-go, I was hooked. The first episode was an absolute dream in terms of character introductions, world building, emotion, and yes, pacing. When we talk about pacing, we're talking about the speed and intensity at which a story is told. This involves the timing of how we receive new info and emotions, and whether you realize it or not, a story's pacing creates a sense of progress. Often you'll hear stories described as fast-paced thrillers or slow-burn dramas, and these labels reflect our expectations for the overall pace. Usually a story's overall pace is established in its first episode or first few episodes, and we expect it to remain mostly consistent over time. Now, of course, just because something is fast-paced in general, that doesn't mean it should be fast 100% of the time. After all, if everything is fast, nothing is fast. We need variation, and in order for intense stories to have impact, there must also be cooldown periods that allow the audience to catch their breath, process events, and take in quieter character moments. So, when Attack on Titan's first episode delivered heavy emotional
I just want to see the example. What's he talking about?
Intense action, and a speedy flow of conflict and information, I expected this to be the show's pacing standard, with of course some cooldown sections mixed in to balance things out. And for the next 10 or 12 episodes, I was not disappointed. The first half of season 1 does an amazing job introducing Eren, Mikasa, Armin, and basic world-building details in smooth, economical fashion. It also pushes the narrative forward at a steady click. Our heroes go through training, meet supporting characters, face immediate threats, and discover Eren's ability to transform into a Titan. There's lots of interesting, engaging stuff here. But unfortunately, I soon ran into the first major pacing issue, which I'm going to call a pacing drop-off. This is when a high-flying story starts noticeably
Is it during Trust? Like, when was it? Wasn't that in the first, like, 10 episodes? I don't know.
Spinning its wheels. As I watched the back half of season 1, I found myself losing interest. Instead of the show unloading conflict and new information at a steady click, it dragged out those exact same things. For example, if you remember, there's that 3-episode stretch where everyone is on horseback trying to defeat the female Titan. This section got really repetitive, and it blurred together so much that at one point when I started a new episode, I thought I had accidentally replayed the previous one. This was when the show lost its magic for me, because that first half of season 1 had done such a phenomenal job of not only creating curiosity, tension, and suspense, but also doing the legwork to get us invested in the big three of Eren, Mikasa, and Armin. Then, the second half took its foot off the gas, and the spotlight shifted towards secondary characters. Obviously, the show wanted to explore a larger cast, and that's fine, but the initial setup led me to believe I was getting a tighter story that primarily focused on...
How is this guy such a big channel? Or is this like a really old video?
Get ready, because today...
One day ago? Oh god. Wait, did we watch one of these and it was like a really bad video? I feel like I remember this, talking about the bad dialogue versus good dialogue video. Because so far, all he said is like, I didn't, like, the end of season 1, I didn't like it. That's all he said in these 3 minutes, right? I guess we'll see.
Eren and his 2 closest friends, rather than a larger ensemble. And it's important to manage expectations when you set up a cast. For instance, Game of Thrones did this very well in its pilot episode. You meet the Starks, the Lannisters, the Targaryens. It's a lot to take in, but it sets reasonable expectations for the rest of the series. We know what we're getting into, we know we're going to spend time with numerous characters, and we know that the spotlight is going to shift back and forth as the story progresses. There's no false advertising here. Speaking of false advertising, Attack on Titan has a serious plot armor problem. I lost count of how many times somebody survived a dramatic death blow or got rescued at the last millisecond.
Alright. It's not Attack on Titan's problem. It's an anime problem in general. Alright. Where are the 4 pacing issues? I want to know. I don't know. Oh, it's about the shitty anime. Well, look at that viewer subscriber disparity. I was expecting this to be a small channel. Wait, how many views did it have? In fairness, this did not seem like an interesting video at all. And also the video itself I don't think was very interesting.
Get ready.
But that is true. I mean, it looks like someone who had a very successful series trying other things, I guess, which is fine. More successful than me. Like, I'd be happy to get 6K views on a video. Anyway. Oh, guys, just for people who don't know, a crazy thing happened. What is this? The last show was a show. Oh, it's 17 minutes. A crazy thing happened the other day. A comment from the great Shaves, who makes great video essays and makes even greater digest videos, who is the inspiration for my monthly digest that I do. Does he even link his second channel? I don't know. Anyway. Mill the Killer got my ass. It's true, I've been deeply dissatisfied with my videos' performances for over 2 years now, and I'm going to complain, but only at the end, because I didn't have a good enough way to end it, lol. These 3... though I'm finally at peace with. They did better than I had expected, which is a nice surprise. I'm at peace with them, which is more than I can say of say of the last 10 to 12 videos. And yes, I wear my headphones as apparel. True, you jump scared me, but true. This was the most I died laughing when I saw this. Oh my goodness. Miller's like, I don't think Miller had any conception that Shapes would ever see his words that he said, but it was very funny. Also, I have no idea what he's referring to, because firstly, I don't think I watched most of this because it was like a Pokemon thing for half of it. Was it just the beginning? There was something in this that I'm like, I have no interest in watching this. It was like One Piece and Pokemon. I don't want One Piece spoilers, and so I skipped all of this video, most of this VOD, I think. So I don't know what part was what was Shapes responding to here, but anyway, but true, that was a small channel on that video. A small viewership for that big channel. Sorry. Objective YouTube critics are lying to themselves. This will be. Let's see. This will be the one.
Critics want to convince you that they're right. But what better way to do that than to argue that they're objectively correct? Not just correct or that they have the right opinion, but that their opinion is objective.
Anyone's welcome to generate an objective opinion based solely on the measurable elements of the content, or they can generate a personal subjective opinion based on how they felt. But they are completely different conversations.
Objective criticism is when someone tries to remove their own emotional biases from criticism, to analyze the functionality of a narrative, cinematography, acting, etc., to determine if a film works. Now, on paper, that does sound reasonable. I will say straight away that objectivity is typically a good tool when trying to examine the functionality of media. However, the problem is a lot of critics who say they're objective use objectivity as a crutch. They analyze media in a way where they can argue that the film is objectively good or bad.
Mahler's infamous assertion that The Last Jedi is an objectively bad film was a declaration that launched 1,000 ships.
This may shock you, but Star Wars The Last Jedi is objectively bad content. It is provable. This is factual. You may enjoy the film, and even love the film, that's absolutely fine, but it is a poorly written film that stands as an objective insult to intelligence.
Now, mind you, these are subjective terms, good and bad. If good and bad are opinions, then how can we objectively reach the conclusion that something is good or bad? If saying something is worse than something else is, again, an opinion, how can we objectively say something is the worst film in a series? The problem is people conflate an objective conclusion with irrefutable proof. And also, sometimes people who review media objectively are doing it either very poorly or using tangential evidence to...
Alright, true. Why did I not close the tab? There we go. Weapons, official trailer.
This is a true story that happened in my town. So this one Wednesday is like a normal day for the whole school. But today was different.
Wouldn't it be crazy? Obviously, this isn't the case. Wouldn't it be crazy if they just made, and this is coming out of nowhere, it was like this story, the exact same thing, and it's like a full movie or something, but like toward the end of it, you find out that this is like it's set in the Chainsaw Man universe or something. And I guess I don't want to spoil Chainsaw Man, so I'm not. But a certain thing happens with a certain devil toward the end of Chainsaw Man Part 1. And some stuff happens to kids. And wouldn't that be crazy if it just ended with that big thing happening? I don't know. It'd be... Anyway, let's continue.
Every other class had all their kids. But Mrs. Gandy's room was totally empty. And you know why? Because the night before, at 2:17 in the morning, every kid woke up, got out of bed, walked downstairs, and into the dark. And they never came back.
Never heard of Bar.
I don't understand at all. Why just her classroom? Why only hers?
Is that Thanos?
Where are our children?
We have a lot of emotional parents here. I think it's best if you keep some distance from this place.
There's like White Walker music and sound effects. He's wearing makeup.
Matthew, where are you? Where did you go?
This is where the story really starts.
I can't tell if that's going to be like good or bad. The concept of like a zombie movie, but like all the zombies are kids is like kind of cool. Like this shot of them like running or whatever. It seems a bit cheesy. Also, I don't know anything about this. I think I just saw this like trending on YouTube or something. Directing looks cool. Concept is a bit goofy. The narration was cool by the kid or whatever. I don't know. I'll probably watch this if I remember. I love horror movies. My goodness. All right, last one. The Smashing Machine.
Probably looking at my eyes.
How did that happen?
How is it possible that within like the first 5 seconds you can already tell it's an A24 movie besides the giant logo?
My eyes.
This is the most like Florida Project shot I've seen in my life. But...
How did that happen?
Well, have you ever heard of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, the UFC?
That's the bloody thing they're trying to ban.
This guy is the best he has ever seen.
Do you hate each other when you fight?
Absolutely not.
We're only 20 seconds in. This has already convinced me I like have to watch this movie. It already looks really good.
How do you know Mark Kirk?
Oh, we go way back. But he's a buddy of mine.
Come on, baby.
Too much?
Never.
Too much?
No.
Please welcome in his Octagon debut, Mark
Winning is the best feeling there is. It's 40,000 people, and they're cheering you on. There's no other high like it in the world. No contract.
Why do I know that name? Safdie brothers, siblings. What did they make? Good Time? I don't know.
Money?
Wait.
No money. Do you have any stronger pain medication?
Advil?
Advil?
Yeah.
Don, would you like?
No.
They're handing them out like candy. Let's all get in. Everybody get in. Yeah, Don, can you take this picture for us?
Yeah.
What are you thinking at the beginning of the fight?
It's simple. Am I going to hurt him before he hurts me?
Yes, there were times, I'm sure
This Grand Prix to crown the greatest fighter in the world. He has come back from the brink. Let's see if he can pull out a victory over Mark Coleman. Have you spoken to either about fighting such a good friend for a life-changing amount of money?
I faced it all.
I just need you to let me in.
I took the bull.
Always about you. Only about fighting you.
Let's fucking go. My big strong man, I love you.
Wow.
I think he wants your autograph.
Sure, no problem. No fighting.
I'm in. I'm absolutely watching this. It looks really good. Directing wise, story wise, I don't know. I'm really invested in this. That looks really cool. 20 years later, and we finally see The Rock playing a character. Wait, that was The Rock? Who's The Rock? That's not The Rock, is it? Is that The Rock? Wait, what? Oh, is that The Rock? I'll be honest, if he's in this, I did not recognize him. So I guess, well done. Anyway. Miller just said something like this. Oh, Miller just said something like his recent video being unwatchable because you could tell Shaves was salty about his views. That's very funny. It's not the first time he's commented on the VOD either. I do remember that. That is true. But just calling out Miller specifically is like the funniest thing in the world. I feel like Miller was saying some very mean things in that VOD. I mean, Shapes is probably... If I think that'd be really cool if I was like watching someone's VOD and then they commented on my video, but like earnestly because they didn't think I'd ever see it. I'd be like, oh, this is cool. I'm getting like genuine feedback here on like what someone actually thinks about my stuff because they think I'll just never see what they said, you know? Miller is a known hater. That is true. He's the main character. That's crazy. It didn't even cross my mind. Like, even in the middle, they said starring Dwayne Johnson or something. I was like, oh, I guess, like, there's, like, another actor called Dwayne Johnson that isn't The Rock.
No.
They're handing him.
Do we not see him in this? Like, is he not shown in the trailer? Wait, is that him? Is that The Rock? I don't know. Anyway. This looks like a great movie. Okay. Now, what was I gonna... I feel like I had something to say. Mill the Killer. Shaves. Oh, my videos. I googled my... I don't want to bring it up because it's like Mushoku Tensei spoilers, but I was... For some reason, I googled my video. Actually, don't remember why. Oh, because I needed an image. I was... I don't know what it was. It was like a thumbnail or something I was making. So I wanted to get an image of Norn. And then I found a screenshot of my like video, the Norn video I made, on Google Images, but it had like someone's reaction face next to it. And I was like, oh my goodness, someone like reacted to my video. This is so exciting. And then I clicked the video and they were talking about how like, they were talking about my video as though it was like some famous video. They're like, oh, this video has been going around and it's like, everyone's been talking about this video. I'm like, oh my goodness. Like my video is like, people know about it. It's like the Norn Grey Rat video or something. But then he's like, oh, I can't watch it because it has like light novel spoilers or something. I'm like, oh my goodness, but he almost watched it. It's like the most famous I've ever felt. Someone is just talking about my video as though I don't exist. It's kind of cool. Anyway. I'm curious about this one. Also, I do have to go pretty soon, okay? As in probably after this video. Unless someone else has something important I need to talk about or address, you know? Let's go. Heavy spoilers for Wonder Egg Priority, guys.
Remember Wonder Egg Priority?
Sure.
That anime that led my channel to greater heights than I've ever.
Ain't nobody trying to hear that bullshit.
Oh yeah, lost track for a second. Let's get to it.
Koito.
This anime is full of disturbing images and situations, including rape, self-harm, pedophilia, abuse, sexual harassment, and other topics discussed by 14-year-olds. If you're not capable of watching something centered around these topics, then this anime isn't for you.
You know, the music is actually very good. This is a good track in the show.
Wonder Egg Priority was one of those animes that were going to be a hit or miss, especially knowing that it is an original anime with no manga to its name. Wonder Egg Priority had a phenomenal start. Mystery, action, finding yourself, saving your life. These themes were executed perfectly, until the ending, where they seemingly just pulled out things from their ass, and handing us a setup that wasn't deserved. The special episode we got wasn't even connected.
I'll be completely honest. I don't think I made myself clear enough in the discussion with Kyle. I think if Wonder Egg, firstly, I think Wonder Egg Priority is clearly setting up a season 2. And if it got a season 2, I think there could be like, it could make it so there's literally no issue with season 1. Like you could, like my number one complaint is very separate from Kyle. I'm not speaking for Kyle at all here. He likes different things from the show. My number one complaint is purely how open-ended the ending is and how like it just introduces a bunch of things that don't have the most clearest answers. Like you can't piece it all together and get something that like fully lands. And I feel like you could absolutely fix that with a season 2. But there's a lot of people out there who are like, it just like can't be fixed. Like it's just already, the damage is done. There's like no fixing it. Anyway, whatever. I got that feeling that I need to make videos, but I can't bring myself to start because I'm lazy. You know what you need to do? Just start. Okay, there you go. Get ChatGPT, be like, hey ChatGPT, I got this like idea. Can you like write an essay about it? And then it'll like make the essay and then you can like turn it into a video or whatever. Unless you mean like you want to make like different types of videos, not like video essays or something. That could be cool too. Just start somewhere, you know, go ahead. My first video was inspired by Kyle Entertainment, you know? I had an idea for an Attack on Titan thing. I was watching a Kyle stream and I was like, oh, you know what? Let me try and make a video. And then I made a video and here I am.
The special episode we got wasn't even connected to the cliffhanger the season gave us. I've watched a lot of animes with cliffhangers, but this was done very poorly, with partially to no effort in the final act. Well, it isn't fully because there wasn't any effort put into it. It's the fact that it put too much into one basket, to the point that it seemed like they couldn't make up their minds or what they wanted the final act.
I'm so curious why this is like why is this dub? The downfall of Wonder Egg Priority dub. Like, is this using an AI dub? It says AI. Or is that I? Like Oto. Or does dub mean something else? What is this? Oh, they said they're a director, right? That's what they said. So maybe they make original animations. That's really cool. Let's just watch random one. Cool. Okay. This one says dub as well. And this says dub as well. Chainsaw Man dub.
Give you a brief rundown.
Wait, it's just a dub scene. Unless this person dubbed the scene, like using their own voice.
Give you a brief rundown in case it goes sideways.
Or do you just like put dub at the end of every video to get more views or something? I have no idea what's happening. Anyway.
Right to be. So they just half-assed every idea.
Alright, maybe at the end is like a big clip from the dub? I don't know.
Character, which seems to hint as I'd really look.
Sorry, what? Who is this? Is this channel? I don't know what I just watched. Okay, whatever. Okay, we got a Wonder Egg video from Heath. The story of molested girl. Wonder Egg priority. Okay, this might just be a scene. I don't know, but spoilers, guys. Wonder Egg priority.
痴漢にあったんです。毎日同じ人だったんですけど、あの日は勇気を出してその人の腕を掴んだんです。この人痴漢ですって。大丈夫だった？はい、すぐに周りの人が抑えてくれました。よかった。でもそのおじさん、パパの会社の専務だったんです。え？パパはクビにされました。ママはなんでそのくらい我慢できなかったの？触られたってことは可愛いからってことじゃないって。
Why did he save this? Wait, I was just going through. Oh, send this, sorry. I was just going through Wonder Egg videos and love the title. True. Good scene. Good character. Interesting story. 750,000 views. I can't even be happy knowing that this isn't real. Huh? Because shit like this happens all the time. Okay, right. Crazy how this shit happens it happens in real life and no one is aware of it until it's too late. True. Well. Wow, it's the most popular video on their channel. Interesting. Wonder what happens if you type in like Wonder Egg priority scene. Okay, fight scenes. Frill, that makes sense. I feel like I've seen, like, people really like Frill. Like, as a character. Maybe just, like, the character design or something. I don't know. Uraaka kills Frill. Manen's death. True, that was sad. The terrible ending of Wonder Egg Priority.
The fact that this show is so fast-paced is a blessing and a curse. It's to know a bunch of the characters' personalities pretty early, and we feel more connected to them by the end. On the other hand, there are so many unresolved plot points that when the conclusion of the story finally comes, we're just left with so many more questions than answers. And that would be fine if this was that type of story, where most things were left to interpretation and the writers wanted you to really sit and come up with your own meaning for what's going on.
That's absolutely what the show is.
And it seems that way in the beginning. They don't really hold your hand, and you're interested to see what will happen next until episode 11, where they just give up on that whole concept and the entire episode is literally exposition on the main villain.
That's absolutely not true. It's just a new story. It doesn't mean it's exposition. Like it's you're getting new characters and seeing like what happened in their lives. Like you're invested. You get invested in the characters.
I really don't like the way that this was done. To each their own, but like this just feels kind of cheap. The fact.
Okay, whatever.
There are a lot of anime that unexpectedly fell off, but one of the worst case has to be Wonder Egg Priority. It was an original anime that kept.
She must have been out of her head.
Rank these anime without knowing which one comes next. It's good to be here, boy. Here we go. Angel Beats. What do we think? I love the
4. No, 5. I don't know what it is.
Number 3. No, great. It's a great series. Really? I just can't put it at number 1. One of the greatest shows I've ever watched. One of the greatest shows.
All right, hurry up.
Put at 3. Only because of the first 5 episodes. See, you get 7 Deadly Sins. Immediate 5.
There's gonna be a bunch of stuff I don't know. Promised Neverland 2. Code Geass, probably 1. It's going to be tough to get something better than that. Tokyo Revengers, easy. Okay, perfect.
We at the Anime Awards are happy
to rank these anime without.
All right, I think that's that. Apparently, like 20% of the views from my Kyle video come from a video titled "Reviewers Are Horribly Wrong About Mushoku Tensei" from 3 years ago. Lamau, that is how that works. It's crazy you got 38 subs, my goodness. Also, great. Apparently Bacon made this. You know what? This jump scared me. I was on my homepage of YouTube yesterday. And I was like, oh, I was just like half paying attention while I was like talking to people. And I saw this thumbnail. And I was like, I just like looked at it. I'm like, isn't that me? Why am I on this random thumbnail? And I thought someone made like a hit piece on me or something. They were like attacking me for something. And then I looked and I was like, oh, Kyle Entertainment being the best part. Oh, I've seen this video. It's the Mr. Gems video. But you scared me for a second. I was like, oh my goodness, people are like, they finally found my like Mauler reaction. It like blew up or something, and all the Mauler fans are gonna hate me again. And anyway, so that was crazy. Because you could absolutely make the same video here, but it's just like the dumbest things the lead Ari has ever said. And it'd be like the dumbest shit that I've said, which I've said a lot of dumb stuff across my hundreds and hundreds of hours of content. Yeah. But yeah, nice thumbnail. And then Mr. Gems replied, Bacon's excellent work. So there we go. All right. That's it for now. Now I hope I will stream sooner than 10 days, okay? Probably not tomorrow, probably not the next day. So maybe Monday, or no, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday, but I guess we'll see. But yeah, so thanks for watching and see you. Also, Miller is a known hater. True, Wonder Egg Priority reference, by the way. I just remembered because there's haters in Wonder Egg Priority. But anyway, true. See you next time in a few days.